All right, hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Spencer.
I'm Ani.
You're watching our YouTube channel, Pikey and the Hog.
And this is our weekly news binge, the week of October 16th.
Woo!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. Oh, Christ. How you doing?
You're not entertained!
Winter is coming.
So we're actually going to skip TV news this week and go right into movies. So Mark Ruffalo, who stars as Hulk in the Avengers series, accidentally leaked the first 15 minutes of the new Thor movie that isn't set to release until October 27th. So what happened was, at the premiere last week, Mark Ruffalo was shooting an Instagram live video for his, fans and all those people that can get a closer up view of the cast and what was going on, and forgot to turn it off when he walked into the movie. So, the first 15 minutes of the audio was heard by about 2,000 fans out there who were tuned into that Instagram live video, and Ruffalo didn't realize it was still on until 15 minutes into the movie. So, I'm sure Marvel isn't too pleased about that.
They're not. In fact, Ruffalo has been blacklisted. And I've been chosen to fill his shoes as Hulk in reshoot. They're scrapping the whole movie. And that's thanks to you guys, because last week's episode did so well.
Yeah.
It was everywhere.
That's right. And this movie isn't set to come out until October 27th.
Yeah, we didn't say there was TV news, but we were the news last week. So
That's right. But what is coming out this week, Spencer?
All right, so coming out this Friday, we got a couple good ones. Only the Brave is based on the true story of the Granite Mountain Hotshots, a group of elite firefighters who risk everything to protect a town from a historic wildfire. That's got Josh Brolin, Miles Teller, Jeff Bridges, and Taylor Kitsch, too, I believe. Great lineup. Also coming out is The Killing of a Sacred Deer. This is Colin Farrell and Nicole Kidman. This is the story of a surgeon who is forced to make an unthinkable sacrifice after his life starts to fall apart when the behavior of a teenage boy he has taken under his wing turns sinister. This is a drama horror kind of. Also, there is Same Kind of Different as Me. This is a drama about an international art dealer named Ron Hall who must befriend a dangerous homeless man in order to save his struggling marriage with his wife, a woman whose dreams will lead all three of them on the journey of their lives. Jon Voight, Renee Zellweger. That one looks real interesting. And finally, Geostorm, which people have probably seen trailers for. This is about a network of satellites designed to control the global climate, which starts to attack Earth. It's a race against the clock to uncover the real threat before the geostorm wipes out everything and everyone. That sheds a whole lot of light on it because I haven't understood what it's about at all from the trailers. That's Gerard Butler and Abby Cornish, which brings us to our first special segment of the week, Rotten
Critics.
Last week we did Happy Death Day. How did we do?
So actually, I did really well. You did pretty well yourself, but you did lose. But we
Naturally.
took the over for the audience score, both of us. He said 68%, I said 75%. It's currently sitting at 72%, so I was closer by 1%.
Yeah.
For the critic score, I said over 50%, and Spencer said under.
Yeah.
So he is this week's Rotten, and I am this week's critic because I was better, naturally.
Critics just don't have as refined a taste as I do for movies.
Yes, so
That's
I
what
do
it
have a
is.
little gift for Spencer here. Got a plate of 5 different tomatoes. They don't look very appealing. I don't think they're rotten. They might be because I haven't eaten them.
Well, I'll be finding out in about an hour because
yes,
I
but
will be ingesting them.
I am
here.
giving Spencer these tomatoes one by one. I will be feeding to him, or he will grab the plate out of my hand. And next week we'll actually be throwing tomatoes at the loser. So
so
be sure
tune
to
in for that.
And the movie we're going to choose for next week is Geostorm.
Yeah.
Spencer just talked about what the movie was as Gerard Butler. We're going to go with the baseline of 40 for the critic score this week. A little bit, harder for us. And 50 for the audience score. So what do you think?
All right, so I'm going to go under on the critic score. This plot has been done before. That is for certain. And Gerard Butler, I think he's a good actor, but I don't think critics do in general. So I'm going under on the critic score, and I'm actually going to go under on the audience score too, just because there's a lot of good movies out right now, and usually people compare the movie that they go see to the other ones out that they might have seen, and I don't think this one's going to hold up well to the others.
Now that's a bit of a problem.
Once again, I'm going to agree with you on half of that. We've seen a movie like this before, Day After Tomorrow, 2012. This is just like the 2017 version of those movies. I think they're going to take a page out of our World War II President Abraham Lincoln's page, and drop a huge bomb on this movie in the box office.
Was it President Lincoln? I think it might have been.
It's going to do terrible. I'm going to take the under on the critic score. I'm going to give it a solid 25%. But I'm going to give it the over on the audience score. Barely, though. 53%.
It was Bill Clinton.
That's right. That's the president.
And now we move on to music.
Spencer's favorite segment.
Yeah.
All right, so some big news this week was Linkin Park putting out their episode of Carpool Karaoke. This is posthumous for Chester Bennington, who committed suicide, a couple of months ago. It's sad, but then at the same time, it's nice to watch because it's he's in good spirits during it. They're having fun. But while I was watching that, I actually came across some interesting news relating to the Carpool Karaoke. They're a cultural phenomenon right now. Everybody loves watching them. It's definitely James Corden's most popular segment.
They're fun. But
the Foo Fighters recently did one, and they came out as saying that they found it to be kind of awkward and not as much fun as people might think. Pat Smear specifically said by hour 3 in Dude's car, it got less fun. Something to keep in mind next time you're watching Carpool Karaoke, these 10-minute episodes, that they're sitting in that car for like 3.5 hours, which is a challenge, I can tell you, because I have to do that with this guy, and it's not fun.
So that's the guy who ate tomatoes like a rabid dog.
I have to do something because we do this for hours on end, and you're watching a 10-minute episode of it. Just keep it in mind, okay?
But that brings us to our next segment we like to do with music, our Artist of the Week. You recommended people go listen to the Struts. I recommended Dua Lipa. And we're going to have 2 new artists this week. So who you got?
All right, so this week I'm going to give you Highly Suspect. I would classify them as a breakout. I've seen them. They're really cool live. They do some things that, I haven't seen a lot of people do live. They bring all their crew up on stage who will play instruments during the shows. Very high energy. And they actually have a show coming up in Melkweg, Amsterdam. It's February 12th, so make sure you get your tickets coming up.
Pretty close to us.
Yeah, get your plane tickets and your show tickets.
And get a date, because it's near Valentine's Day.
Yeah, get a date,
Melkweg, great place.
It's a good first date. That shows that you're willing to, really spend some money.
Yeah. The artist I'm going to choose here, a little bit different, I guess. It's going to be a comeback artist, actually. So my high school had their homecoming weekend. My sister went to it. It's been about 5 years since I went, so I was feeling a little nostalgic. So I was listening to a lot of the hits of the 2000s, and I came across TikTok by Kesha, which I do know every word to that song still, and as Spencer knows, that he's been living with me for 2 years, the party don't start till I walk in.
Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy.
Okay, that came out of nowhere. That's fine. That's a lie.
He knows this. He does know the lyrics, so
Yes.
I'll give him that.
So Kesha's new album, Rainbow, did drop a couple months ago. The song that you guys have probably been hearing a lot on the radio is Praying, the single she released. And it's been a while since I've listened to a lot of Kesha, but it was good to hear TikTok over and over and over again for the past week.
Yeah.
And that brings us to sports.
Novak to win it. The kick is on the way. It is.
All right, for the Icarus of the week, for last week we had Cam Newton,
That's right.
who actually didn't do that great. He QB48.
Can't really understand what he's saying right now, but he did
All right,
say
well-
Cam Newton.
He was QB 48
That's right.
last week. Threw 2 or 3 interceptions?
3 interceptions.
3 interceptions. He put up some points, but that was mostly just because of his rushing yards, and he had a rushing TD.
That's right.
So you suck, Cam.
That's right. And this week, it's actually a pretty bold pick. I'm going to have Leonard Fournette, running back of the Jaguars. He's been having a great rookie season. He had 130 yards rushing against the Rams last week and 181 against the Steelers the week before. But it's kind of skewed because in both games, he had a huge run.
Yeah.
He had 90-yard touchdown run against the Steelers and 75 yards against the Rams. But he goes up against the Colts defense in week 7, who have kept running backs to very few yards. No running back has gained more than 53 yards on them so far this season. This is without the Titans-Colts game, which is actually later tonight. After we film, we'll probably watch it. But so far, not so good for running backs going up against that defense. So, Leonard Fournette, you are the Icarus of Week 7.
That is right. If the Colts are good at anything, it's run D.
Yeah. Doesn't mean take him out of your lineup, but you might have to, Leonard, forget about him as an RB1
As
this
an
week.
RB1. Yeah, we went through a couple different ideas for his plays on his name, but that was the best one.
Was the best
But we don't
one.
want you to forget about him entirely because that would be a bad call.
Exactly.
But put him in RB2 or flex.
Yes. And now to our last special segment of our show, the KOW Cow Kicker of the Week.
That's right. This week we got Cody Parkey, who is the Miami kicker. He was 2 for 2?
2 for
2 for 2 on field goals, 2 for 2 on extra points. And his second field goal was a game winner against Atlanta.
That's right.
So that was a big one.
Yeah, and the Falcons, are really good at keeping leads. They had a 17-0 lead, but lost 2017, which was kind of surprising because, they're so good at leads.
They hold on to him.
All the time. They don't choke ever.
So, but we got Jay Cutler, man in the helm at QB. Ani loves him, but I know a lot of
Cutler,
people hate him, and they could use some help getting some points. So
Cody Parkey, thank you.
Yeah.
You
So
helped the Dolphins.
Cody Parkey, you are this week's
KOW Das Boot
Das
Award.
Boot Award. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just pull that up. All right, so we're just about done here. We're on our last segment of the week, which is our life and style, baby segment. This week we got a product we've been using all day long, actually.
Yep.
Yorkshire tea.
Yeah, it's a good
good
stuff.
tea.
We've been actually drinking it for the last 3 years in our
We have,
apartment.
yeah, and
It's
currently.
our official tea.
Yeah.
It's been here. It's pretty good tea, actually.
Right.
It's very cold right now,
Is
actually.
it cold? We've been down here
That's
for a
not
long
good.
time.
I didn't even think about that.
But
I got a little beer in my mouth.
You can get it at Walmart, Bed Bath & Beyond, the Triple B,
Yeah.
or just order it online if you want to get the real stuff. Order it online.
Or if you're in
straight from
Amsterdam for
Yorkshire.
the Highly Suspect concert,
Yeah.
they'll probably sell it there.
Yeah,
too.
I'll be loading up then.
Yeah.
I'll catch you there as well.
But that brings us to the end of our
That's the
weekly
end of our
binge.
show.
Make sure you tune in for next week's show. Check you later.
All right.
Desperate and